Hey everybody, Asher here, back with more Hearthstone, where today we are playing Beast Druid because the Menagerie is out. The Menagerie Warden is now descending upon ladder, and we shall see if it takes out all the hunters. I have my own Beast Cat in the room who tried to break in previously, causing hell, mayhem, and destruction. And joining her are things like Stranglethorn Tiger and Druid of the Flame, and a few other things. This is not really like a traditional ramp deck. What I tried to build it a little bit more in the style of is the old, not the old Arcane Golem, but the old Fel Reaver style aggro druid. And the problem that you have with that is, my cat's just going to keep meowing at me, is that there's a lot of like little quick spot removal that has disappeared from druid. Especially one of the cards that you used to use to try and power through early on that got nerfed was Force of Nature. Now we still have double Savage Roar in here. We do run some Raven Idols just to try and get some potential for early ramp. But this is not a ramp deck. This is a play little things on curve and see how it goes. This tops out the curve at 6. I think that's what you're most likely going to see from effective Menagerie Warden decks. The big thing is going to be how strong will this be versus the remainder of the metagame. There's some definite substitutions you can make in there to try and make it work. But for now, we're just going to experiment with a very minion-heavy version of this list. So let's get started.
I must protect the wild. Nature must be preserved.
I really think we are only going to be playing Druids today. So we got Druid of the Saver. We got Double Wrath. Decided to ditch Power of the Wild, but we do have a good curve here. So that is a decent start. Plus coins, so greetings to you.
My greetings.
And it's going to be Enchanted Raven. Oh, Living Roots. Okay. That doesn't really change my play. Unfortunately, because he has initiative, that could be all he needs for this curve style deck. Alright. You're going to see that our decks look fairly similar here.
Another night on the prowl.
Could have played a Druid of the Flame, but we're going to see if we can do something a little more fun with our coin.
Bathe in flame.
Alright. Here's our first question. Do we just do samesies and try and trade? Or do we play Double Wrath to try and draw 2? I think that we are going to be wanting to be pretty aggressive. So I think what I'm just going to do is this, and he's going to be able to go face. I'll have something down there. This survives pretty well. I'd love to be able to Double Wrath or something next turn. Cat is still on the loose. There is no controlling this cat. Okay, so we don't have the exact same opener, obviously, and he's going pure face. Well, now we can live the dream, right? Alright. As I may have to once again stop playing just to get animals under control. It's just one. I don't know why it's like this, but like I said, it's going to be all Druids all the time today. We knew that already. One of the key things is going to be, can these guys survive? Alright, so we have Savage Roar, we have another Wrath. We have double Savage Roar. So we can trade in a little bit more. Alright. So this lets one of ours survive. I could potentially cycle here. That doesn't... Well, yeah, you know what? Let's control the board and cycle. I'd love to get a Savage Combatant clean on the board next turn. And this card draw could be very important in this matchup. So see, because he had the initiative, I had to sit there and waste time and resources on the board, whereas he already has me down to 19. So Stranglethorn Tiger, he doesn't have a Warden in hand from the looks of it. Alright. Another Night on the Prowl, perhaps? Okay. Nothing we can do about that tiger right now. We get to go face. We have decent board presence. We have 2, and then if these 2 survive, 3 more damage in hand. So there's the Menagerie Warden that he got. Held on to that the whole time. So here's the fun and interactive combo that everyone's talking about. Alright. I think we need to discover a spell. That spell is Wisp of the Old Gods, Naturalize Living Roots. Of all of those, Living Roots seems to be the most flexible. Alright, now if we do this, we'll be able to take that out. We'll be able to take that out. So that's a start.
For the wilds.
So a little bit of this is just having to go second here. I don't really want to play into swipe either. But we're both just about out of cards now. Oh, Mark of Yasharaj. So there's some card draw. That's scary. And like that, I'm done. I'm toast.
Well played.
Let's see. Like, there's seriously no way I'm coming back from just getting so far behind early. Maybe if I had just gone face with everything, the world would be a little bit different. So your 2 saplings are 1-1. Too bad I can't actually disappear this card. There we go. So if we have swipe in hand as well. Doesn't really change everything. My board dies, so. Trade. Trade. He got his Menagerie Warden out first. And,
Spectacular.
we'll see where this goes. So my curve's out at 6. I don't have another beast on the board. And he had to swipe. Can't say too much about Hearthstone other than some games you just lose. So we'll see if we can get a better draw this time.
I must protect the wild.
Okay, we'll keep Raven Idol. Don't want Flame. We want to mulligan hard for a 1-drop. Like I said, this whole video is going to be mirror matches. This whole video is going to be mirror matches. I got a damn tiger! Double tiger. I just have to survive to turn 5. Well, that's a start. Maybe I can get an innervate here. That would be pretty good. He mulliganed his whole hand. Oh, Lord. Take Living Roots. Still may want the ping. Some people complain that Beast Druid is a deck that builds itself. Other people say Stranglethorn Tiger and a Menagerie Warden is way too strong. I had the cards to deal with it. I was just completely spent afterwards. I'm curious if there's some decks out there that will be able to better manage it. But that is pretty much a game-ending turn 6 play. And as you can see from there, it's happened 100% of the games I've played this deck so far. So... but I'm going first, and that could make all the difference here. Could, being the operative word, because he's not giving me anything to wrath. Well, we're going to go face. We are not going to play into swipe by making tokens, especially since he has not coined. And we may very well need the Living Roots Wrath to do 5+ damage. So I have all my 5-drops hanging out here. Oh, he plays... oh, he doesn't play Claw. He got that from Raven Idol. Is he gonna go face? Okay. So far, pretty passive starts. I want something on the board here since we got swipe. Big thing is if I can get the Warden somewhere around here. Like I said, we got 2 tigers. I didn't get any innervates though, which is good if you can innervate out any kind of 5-drop. Wild Growth. Off the top. No, not quite off the top. Alright. Let's see if we can get a power play. So he didn't have a tiger. He so far has had some not super powerful turns. But we're going to get some good beasts in here in just a minute, I hope. But yeah, Fandrel's just so good in this deck because it synergizes with so many minions that you have. Plus Living Roots, plus Raven Idol, so those are all good. Feral Rage is a card I thought about fitting in this deck. What? Oh, okay. I was about to say, he's not doing 4 damage to this sapling. There's no way, right? And I think it's time for us to just be the aggressor. I mean, I could play these. I could even just put them 5-2, which may not be a terrible idea, but we're just going to go face. Still no Menagerie Warden to see just yet, but I do have good options on turn 7. Now, Menagerie Warden is a friendly beast, so it's not always. I have here. Hi, Rag. Rag, I would love it if you hit face. You did not hit face. Alright, so we can kill Rag anyway. Just charge. Yeah, I think charging that is fine. Charge swipe is a little bit too much mana, unfortunately. I was thinking we were on a different turn. Alright, so... And since he hasn't played any swipes yet, I'm going to go for this. Now, I could have tried to muddy the pool by playing a bunch of Druids of the Flame. Oh, God. Sweet, rank 12 decks. We just talked in the last thing I recorded about how awesome Deathwing Dragonlord is, so props for that. Need a spell. Mark is good. Power of the Wild's good. Claw's not great. Let's draw a little more, but let's draw...
Another night on the prowl.
On you.
Bathe in flames.
I can make this a 5-2. I mean... The worst that happens is that he hero power swipes or something, so let's make it a 2-5. So now we know what kind of crazy deck he's playing. We know we've got to end this game fast. So Ramp Druid, possibly even Astral Communion Druid. I am absolutely not going to be killing that card. If I can avoid it. Rag is a different story, but right now what's the worst he can do is just take out my minions one turn at a time. Hopefully I can outpace him. I've got... Well, it depends on how much lives, because he hasn't used any of his mana yet. Alright. If I had just drawn my Menagerie Warden, this game would have been over already, right? Okay, so there's one swipe. Is this where he double swipes? If he has a double swipe, I'm going to be a little sad. No, Feral Rage. For armor. So he's gained 16 life from that. That's not terrible. Alright.
Bathe in flames. Let's see here. 5-2 for Druid of the Flame because it's fun. Giving it 1-1 doesn't really matter very much because he's just going to pick and choose what he wants to kill. But we're going to smork because that's the idea behind this deck, is that we smork like crazy. That may not have been smart because that gets him closer to getting his Deathwing to die. So, but that's why we make these plays, to learn about playing this deck, right? And he had the second swipe in hand the whole time and didn't use it last turn. Alright.
And he's actually summoned a creature with Raven Idol. I guess he has removal spells. Alright, that's a little scary. Innervate, totally useless. Savage Roar, totally useless.
I can see. Let the hunt begin.
Oh, I was wrong. No mirror matches the whole way. We're going to keep this whole hand, though. So we got Coin, Innervate, Druid of the Claw, turn 2. You don't get much stronger than that.
My greetings.
So it's all Beast Druids today. Let's see how Beast Druid does against Hunter. Oh, my 1 mana 2/2. Little sparkle lights in the background. And hopefully he's just playing like a bunch of traps and then I can get it out there. So let's see, is he going to draw? Oh. He now has an Arcane Golem. Alright, we have Swipe. Is this power play going to be enough? Druid decks that have no card draw or no card cycling can always be a little bit scary to play. So we'll see what this does. He, on the other hand, has a lot of options. Squeaky duck. Okay. So at least we made him waste a removal. Was that worth it? Time will tell. We still only have a 2/2 on the board. Savage Roar's alright. Living Roots. Doesn't really play around Explosive Trap very well. In fact, this board's kind of horrible versus it anyway, so we'll hold on to this. Oh, always Leok. Okay, so we got a Menagerie Warden, that's a plus. We just need something to actually play it with. Is it worth swiping here? I feel like it's better to save the swipe. We could Savage Roar here and maintain our board. Let's try that.
For the wild.
As I have a feeling this deck is really going to want to prioritize face damage. So we'll see if we get wrecked by that move or not. We have Swipe and a Pinch next turn, plus the potential for top decking any of the number of beasts that we have in this deck. Second quick shot. Does he clear my board? Alright. What do you want to bet that's freezing? Hopefully we can proc it right now. Ugh. Well, it's probably Snipe. Let's go ahead and put a 3/2 out here.
For the wild.
Alright. Sniper Snake Trap. So hopefully we won't have to decide, right? It's like we're finally getting to play Menagerie Warden unless he clears our entire board. Menagerie Warden into Raven Idol is just a little sad. Not Raven Idol. Shit. Shit. What do you think the odds are that none of these are Explosive Trap? I think in that sense we have to test, right? Right, so let's get the freezing out of the way. Wow. Snipe kills this, unfortunately. So I guess we'll just take the Snipe heat here.
For the wild.
Alright. Well, we know one trap for sure is Snake Trap. So that's a plus. And we're never going to give it to you because hunters aren't supposed to play taunts. But you do play Arcane Giant, you crazy person. Alright. This game's about to get out of hand in a hurry. Fandral. Save us.
Unleash them for the wild.
Alright, 3 damage there. No way this lives to get Menagerie Warden value. So I tried to play around Explosive Trap and it could end up burning me. We can swipe safely. Oh, now the Cloaked Huntress. Alright. Bigger threat for me is not the traps. He's played a bunch of traps so far. Let's see. We have lethal in 2 turns, so let's do it a little bit like this.
Behold the rage of the fire.
3-2 charge. Saber-tooth tiger. Go.
For the wild.
Your secrets shall not save you. Look at Menagerie Warden getting all that value sitting in my hand. The strength of a deck, though, is partially determined by can it be supported by its other cards. Is there anything he can draw that can potentially give him life? Because he obviously didn't get Call of the Wild, so that's good for me. He did get a Giant out. Only immune when attacking, so that's not exactly relevant. So, Menagerie Warden. A conditional card where you have to stick a creature to the board. Druid of the Claw and Stranglethorn Tiger are plenty sticky, but sometimes good old swipe. I think there's 2 things this deck needs. One is playing more than 3 games with it, so I'm going to be experimenting. But I think it also is going to need some additional refinement. Like the Druids of the Flame were not really carrying weight very well. And if we look at this list here, if we look at Beasts, there are some other options at the 3 spot. Like maybe Jungle Panther could be a little bit better there. Maybe even Pantry Spider could go. But if you're going to play a Pantry Spider, you might as well play a Druid of the Flame, especially for Fandral synergy, if you want to go there. But what turned that last game was that I actually had a board that I was able to go face with Savage Roar with. So maybe I do need to do a brain adjustment a little bit. Like that first game, I was caught so far behind because I went second and we had the exact same pulls and draw. I think I need to work on my general aggressiveness with this, and I mean, this deck curves out fairly evenly, but it may still be a little bit too top-heavy with 4 5s and 2 6s. But that remains to be seen. Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments. This is Asher. Beast Druid, like I said, needs work, has a lot of potential. Definitely share your ideas. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.